Jeep the other day. I traded my yellow Ford Thunderbird 95 that I painted myself with spray cans. There's another video about it on my channel. But I traded that for this 95 Jeep Cherokee XJ. Straight across. It's got quite a bit of damage there. They couldn't get it running. So I figured it was something simple, and it was just this wire here wasn't seeing ground where it's supposed to, so I just jumped it over to here. I gotta wire it in better later. And it fired right up, but it has a bad miss, so I gotta go through the ignition and fuel injectors and stuff and figure that out. And setting up my winch here. I already had this winch. I just bought the mount for it, fit in the receiver. At least it came with some decent tires. Interior's not the best. I'll fix it up. 5-speed standard. I gotta cut that spray foam out of there, fix it properly. I went to the wreckers the other day, actually yesterday, and picked up a leather seat just for the back, and I have some leather seats over there for the front from a different Jeep. Took those seats out of it, and because it wasn't running, they had to push it up on my trailer with a tractor, and when they were doing that, they busted the rear window, so that really sucked. But I got it out in one piece, and I was able to also find a rear hatch at the wreckers. So I got a good window there. Pop that in there. Be back in business. Gotta put it all back together. So it's definitely a bit of a project. Has lockers in the front, a lunchbox locker I mean, and a little bit of a lift. I think it's like a 3-inch. There we have it. I changed out the rear window already. Took me like half an hour, maybe 20 minutes. Super easy. Don't be afraid to change these rear windows on your own. It's extremely easy. You just pop this rubber seal up over, it's a little lip in there. You just work it all the way to each side. The corners are the hardest up here, and then the bottom, she just pops right out. Pop the new one in, easy. So I went and picked up my parts Jeep today. That was part of the deal. Came with my red Jeep over there. And looks like they dropped it. They loaded it on my deck here with a tractor. They picked it right up, so I think they probably dropped it or something before I got there. But yeah, this hub is, wow. Nothing left of it. So I gotta figure out a way to make this wheel stay on, just enough to get it off this trailer. I can't believe this window didn't break. I'm glad too, because I want to put those in my red Jeep because they're tinted. Wow. Still good parts for me. I can steal a lot of these power functions. Oh, hello. I solved my misfire issue. It was just really, it was just bad plugs. It was these Bosch plugs. They were just awful. So I just replaced it with the Champion plugs, just regular old plugs, the best. I've never believed in fancy plugs. I've always believed in just getting whatever is recommended. And I replaced the cap and rotor and the coil just for fun. And oh, I had a pretty bad oil leak around my valve cover gasket, so that's what I'm working on now. Putting a new gasket in there, cleaning up the valve cover. I made this vise a long time ago. It fits in receivers, but this Jeep just happens to be the perfect height right in front. Just worked out. Solved a lot of my electrical issues, fixed the lights and stuff. I put the exhaust back on. The guys who had it cut the muffler and tailpipe off and everything, and just put that pipe there on. And it was terrible. It was just bouncing on the axle like it had no loop over the axle or nothing. Oh, it was awful. So I just welded the pretty much factory stuff back on. Well, that muffler looks like a replacement, but she's pretty quiet now. It's got the proper loop over the axle. Doing an oil change. Still have to pop this fender back out. I was having issues with some of my relays and stuff, so I just cleaned up the mounts for this fuse box. Figured something was having issues grounding, so that helped it out. Got the rear drive shaft out. The universal joint that was in it was wrong. It was actually too small here, and it was wiggling back and forth and all kinds of wrong. I kind of just made this one work, but it's not 100% right. It's a long story, but anyways, I got a new one there. I'm gonna put that one in. Keep this one for a backup. Get me out of a pinch. I got some new clamps. Changing all the fluids. I rigged up my winch over here. Got my winch rigged up on the front in a semi-removable way. So that on the trail I could take it off the front and put it on the back if I had to. So to remove it, take the pin out, then I'd have to undo these two screws. And this fender was already pushed in. It was already wrecked. I didn't wreck a good fender. I cut the hole for two reasons. One, to get the cables through, easy access to the battery, and second, to get some tools in there to pull the fender out. And it didn't work that well, but it's better than it was. So I have the battery cables running here. I would have to undo this nut, take the negative off, and then I have positive running to this solenoid. So I'm going to have a switch on the dash. So these cables are not live all the time, just in case I get a short or something. But I'll have a switch on the dash. When I hit that switch, it'll turn on power to the winch, and also connect the rear battery to the system to charge it and everything. Okay, so we got the new seal in there. Refilled the transfer case and transmission. Took it for a little drive. That front seal is leaking pretty good there on the front diff, and looks like I have a rear main seal leak too. So that's awesome. We put a new U-joint in there and new clamps. That's all good to go. I still actually need to replace the pinion seal too. And looks like we got a seal leaking up there. Either transmission or transfer case. And that's about it. Hopefully. Mainly it's all seals with this. Replacing pretty much every seal this thing has. Yeah, I thought this was a cool idea too. So I got my second battery mounted in the back, and it's wired to the front on a switch. But it's all secure, like it's screwed to the truck and then secured down. And then I got this old ammo box. Somebody else put this wood in here because the floor is all rotten. I got this ammo box and it's secured too. You can't go nowhere, so you can put your heavy equipment in here, winch and stuff, chains, and then it is all secure. And the idea is it's for safety. In case you get in an accident, you don't have all that heavy junk coming up and hitting you, clocking you in the back of the head. So there's a good idea for safety. So I'm under this Jeep again, and I guess this is what you get when you get something for next to free. And I'm replacing these inner seals here on the front diff. These, I got them out already, but this one wasn't even in. It was like half out. I didn't even have to punch it out. I just grabbed it and pulled it out. That's how loose it was. And this side was good. It was still holding oil, but replacing both of them. Okay, so I'm still replacing my inner seals here, but my axle tubes are pretty dirty, full of grease and mud and whatever, and I don't really want to put the new seals in and then put this axle shaft back through all that and potentially contaminate the new seals. So on my seal driver kit, this size fits perfect in the axle tube. Real good fit. So I'm just going to drive that on through both sides. It's going to push all the dirt into the diff, but I'll have to be able to clean it all out before I put it back together. Oh, look how much junk came off of that. That was all in my axle tube. Wow. Okay, time to do the other side. Look how tiny that diff is. Just a tiny little guy. It's got a lunchbox locker. Works pretty good. Okay, I'm doing some other stuff to clean the axle tubes. That's probably above and beyond. Not really necessary because I'm not even putting the outer seals in. I'm just gonna put these factory ones back in there. So my tubes are gonna fill up with mud and water again. But I don't know. I just like cleaning things. So yeah, stick a rag on a broomstick. I sprayed some carb cleaner, brake clean in there already, and you can just push the rag through. You can push it right through. Yeah, it's coming out there in the middle. Oh, I can't really see. I don't have good light. But yeah, you can push it right through one tube and right through out the other tube. There it is. Oh, it's still picking up some dirt. So I've just done that a few times, back and forth. Lots of brake clean. Another cool idea. I got the seal in this side of the diff already. This is the short side, so I was able to pound it in. But this side, I don't want to pound through the long side and risk damaging the seal. So I built a little press here. It's just a bolt and a nut and a piece of my seal kit and a piece of pipe, and it's pressing on the seal. So I'm just going to hold this nut and back this nut off, which will press the seal in. So today I'm going to change out these windows. I took the tinted ones out of the parts Jeep. They're pretty nice because it's weird. It's just like I don't know if it's factory, probably, but the lamination on the inside is getting all peeling off, creating this weird wavy effect. It does peel off, but I got tinted windows that are in good shape. I'm just going to switch out. Take these doors apart isn't too hard to get the window out. So it's two pieces. You have to take out these two screws. There's one up here, and there's actually a hidden rivet on the outside behind here. This one looks like it's already broken. Can't really see in there. This rivet's already broken, but sometimes you have to peel this trim out and drill out that rivet. And then on the inside, you have to undo that one screw there, holds the window in, and there's one other bolt up in here. There it is, that bolt. Take all those out. This window down. This pillar will drop down and you'll be able to tip it, and then you'll be able to get this glass out, and then you can tip this pillar back and get the roll down glass out. So it's not too hard, but that hidden rivet can really get you sometimes. So I got the rear doors changed out already to tinted glass. I just have to do the back two windows. It's quite the difference. The rear windows are easy, just like the back glass. I changed that too. But basically you just have to, you take your plastic trim out of here and then get this rubber gasket started. The hard part's getting it started, but start working it over this lip and just work it all the way around, and your window will pop out no problem. There we go, changed out all the windows. So I changed out rear doors, these ones, the hatch, all to tinted. Looks pretty nice. So I'm here today again, changing another seal. I'm literally gonna have to change every seal on this Jeep, but I'm not complaining. Okay, I'm complaining a little bit, but it's what you get when you get one of these for next to nothing. And today it's, oh man, put her up on the ramps. It just makes it easier. I didn't really have to, but. So there it is. I marked everything. I marked the pinion and the nut, so I can put it all back together the same way. And my fluid level was right up. I topped it up the other day, so it was almost empty when I checked it. Following common theme with this Jeep, everything is loose. That nut was barely tight at all, and I didn't need a puller for the pinion. It came right off. But yeah, everything on this Jeep just seems to be finger tight. It's like somebody just threw it together and never torqued anything. So I installed these leather seats today. They're out of a Grand Cherokee, not sure what year. I don't have the wiring hooked up yet, but they're all power and they're easy to hook up. And I just had to cut the brackets and off the original seats there, and cut the brackets off these seats and weld the original brackets onto these and do a bunch of customization. But they're in here. They barely fit. I didn't want to trim the seat plastic, so I ended up trimming the Jeep plastic because I have spare of this, but I don't have any of this. I got these from a junkyard like 3 years ago. I had them in this truck. They almost look like they're meant to be there. I got this back seat out of a older Cherokee. It's meant for these. It just bolted right in. Yeah, they fit nice. They sit a little higher. I got them as low as I possibly could. See, there's the brackets, and that bolt broke, and I just welded them, and I didn't even bother painting them. So I've been driving the Jeep for a couple weeks now. Runs really good. Yeah, no complaints. This thing's awesome. But now I'm doing the rear main seal on the motor. So it's not the safest way to jack it up, but I know that even if this jack falls, I fit underneath the Jeep. I only had to jack it up. Here, I'll show you, because I'm taking the oil pan out. You just need to take the weight off the suspension so you can slide this oil pan out of here. Let's see, I pretty much got it off already. And it should just slide right out now. Okay, I got the oil pan out. It is possible. Took some gentle persuasion with the crowbar. My Jeep has a lift, I don't know what it is, 3-inch maybe. Might be pretty hard with a stock Jeep, stock height, to get this pan out. There's my oil pump, which has really good pressure, so I'm not going to change that. Just doing my rear main. Because it was leaking pretty bad. Sweet! My cup holder came in the mail today. Oh wow, that fits perfect. Just take these 2 screws out, put them back in. Best upgrade ever. Here I am. It's like 12 o'clock at night. Changing a water pump. But I still love this Jeep. So I don't know what it is, but every time I work on something, on one of my vehicles, I have to paint the parts. Like that's just the stock thermostat housing in that little heater core tube. But every time I have something apart, I just have the need to paint it if I can. If it's like really cold and stuff and it just has to be done, then I won't bother, but it sure makes it take a lot longer for me to get stuff done. But yeah, I don't know, I just think it's a nice touch. I should have painted the valve cover. I was going to paint that red when I did the gasket, but I was in a rush. But when I did the axles, I painted the diff covers red. And when I had the whole dash apart, painted the dash red. And I've done this with every vehicle I've ever owned. That Ford, I painted a bunch of stuff blue. The Mercury, I painted a bunch of stuff blue. It's just something I like doing. It's a nice touch. So almost done the water pump here. I got a new hose. This is the new hose. And I managed to get the spring out of the old hose, that internal spring that helps it from collapsing, stops it from collapsing. It was kind of hard, but I got it out of there and I got it into this new hose, and then I got this little heat shield thing on there too from the old hose. New pump, cleaned up all the bolts for it, and just waiting for paint to dry now so I can put her back together. So there's new parts. So painting them is a small touch, but you know, now when I look at it, I can remember that I did that, and also anybody else who's looking at it, it's like, oh, this guy actually cared. Following this quad trail, side-by-side trail with our Jeep. Hopefully we get all the way through. It's gonna be hard to turn around on this trail. So the Jeep is working great now. Went down a bunch of trails with it today. It was super awesome. Kids had fun. Did you have fun, kids?
Yes. Yeah!
Damn rights you did. It's better than being stuck inside, right?
Yeah, good thing we live in the country.
Yep. Pretty fortunate. Quite fortunate. So, yeah, fixed her right up. Working great. I was thinking about putting 1-tons on it and these 37-inch swampers I had and stuff, but after today, we went down a whole bunch of quad trails, side-by-side trails, that I was just amazed that this Jeep fit down. And I'll put in some pictures here. It was pretty crazy. It's pretty good flex going on. And yeah, that really made me decide that I don't want to go any wider on my track width. I want to stick with these this narrow track width for a while anyways. I put these really good LEDs on it. I can rotate them. They can face the side or the back. So I use them for reverse lights right now. Put a CB radio in there. Picking up some random channels right now. Some random signals. Can't make a whole lot out. Yeah, that's why these are awesome. You take them down a narrow trail. You don't got to worry too much about the body. This one already has a lot of dents and scratches and stuff, so I don't feel horrible. And have a bunch of spare parts for it, and yeah, just can't beat these. Beautiful spot. I got quite the beard going on. I haven't shaved. I haven't shaved since I got laid off. And but there's good news. I'm going back to work here soon, so that's a blessing. And yeah, unfortunately I got to shave this beautiful thing off my face. I'm gonna miss it. So this is one of my favorite places. Jeep got me here. It's running great. It's a pretty nice place. Lots of fun trails. I went up that way the other day. It gets pretty gnarly. It's raining pretty good today, so I'm gonna go back the way I came. But yeah, no problems with the Jeep at all. Loves it. Thanks for watching.